Welcome back to Hawked Up, where nursing knowledge gets clearer, faster, and simpler. Today, we are going to have 10 review nursing quiz. So, let's test your understanding and learn at the same time. Question 1. A nurse is caring for a client who has paraplegia as a result of a spinal cord injury. Which rehabilitation plan will be most effective for this client? A. Arrangements will be made by the client and the client's family. B. The plan is formulated and implemented early in the client's care. C. The rehabilitation is minimal and short-term because the client will return to former activities. D. Arrangements will be made for long-term care because the client is no longer capable of self-care. Correct answer. B. The plan is formulated and implemented early in the client's care. Rationale. Planning for rehabilitation should begin right at admission. Early planning helps promote a sense of hope and direction, not just for the healthcare team, but also for the patient and their family. It supports smoother transitions, better outcomes, and a more optimistic mindset. Let's break down the other choices. Option A. Arrangements will be made by the client and the client's family. Not ideal. Often, the client and family don't fully understand the rehab options available. That's where the nurse's role comes in, to guide, educate, and support them. Option C. The rehabilitation is minimal and short-term because the client will return to former activities. This isn't realistic. Paraplegia is life-altering, and rehab focuses on adjusting to a new lifestyle, not returning to the old one exactly as it was. Option D. Arrangements will be made for long-term care because the client is no longer capable of self-care. This is too limiting. The goal of rehab is independence, not dependence, no matter where the client lives afterward. Question 2. What is a basic concept associated with rehabilitation that the nurse should consider when formulating discharge plans for clients? A. Rehabilitation needs are best met by the client's family and community resources. B. Rehabilitation is a specialty area with unique methods for meeting clients' needs. C. Immediate or potential rehabilitation needs are exhibited by clients with health problems. D. Clients who are returning to their usual activities following hospitalization do not require rehabilitation. Correct answer. C. Immediate or potential rehabilitation needs are exhibited by clients with health problems. Rationale. This is a core concept. Rehabilitation begins the moment a health problem is identified, not later on. Whether it's physical, emotional, or social support, early rehab planning helps prevent complications and promotes optimal recovery and functioning. Let's go through the other choices and why they don't quite fit. Option A. Rehabilitation needs are best met by the client's family and community resources. Not entirely true. While families and communities can help, all healthcare resources, including hospitals and professionals, should be involved in planning and care. It's a team effort. Option B. Rehabilitation is a specialty area with unique methods for meeting clients' needs. Rehab isn't limited to a specialty. It's part of every nurse's role, no matter the setting, from med-surg to pes to psych. Option D. Clients who are returning to their usual activities following hospitalization do not require rehabilitation. That's misleading. Even if a client is going back to a normal routine, rehab may still be needed to help them regain or maintain their best level of functioning. Question 3. A nurse is teaching a client how to use the call bell system. Which level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs does this nursing action address? A. Safety. B. Self-esteem. C. Physiologic. D. Interpersonal. Correct answer. Safety. Rationale. When we teach a client how to use the call bell, we're helping them know how to call for help, and that directly supports their safety and security. In Maslow's hierarchy, safety is the second level, right after basic physical needs. Here's why the other options aren't the best picks. Option B. Self-esteem. Self-esteem is more about a person's confidence and self-worth. Teaching a call bell doesn't directly address that. It's more about physical and emotional safety. Option C. Physiologic. Physiologic needs are the most basic: air, food, water, sleep. The call bell doesn't provide these. It helps access care if those needs are threatened. Option D. Interpersonal. This refers to love and belonging, which comes after safety on Maslow's scale. The call bell helps the client stay safe, not necessarily feel connected emotionally or socially. Question 4. A nurse is supportive of a child receiving long-term rehabilitation in the home rather than in a healthcare facility. Why is living with the family so important to a child's emotional development? A. It provides rewards and punishment. B. The child's development is supported. C. It reflects the mores of a larger society. D. The child's identity and roles are learned. Correct answer. D. The child's identity and roles are learned. Rationale. Family is where it all begins. It's where a child first learns who they are, what's expected of them, and how they fit into the world. This process, called socialization, helps shape their identity and sense of role. These are core elements of emotional development. Here's why the other answers don't go deep enough. Option A. It provides rewards and punishment. That's just one small part of parenting. Emotional development is much more than discipline. It's about love, identity, and self-worth. Option B. The child's development is supported. True, but too vague. It doesn't highlight emotional growth and role learning, which are more specific to this question. Option C. It reflects the mores of a larger society. The family does teach social norms, yes, but that comes after the child develops a sense of self and personal identity within the home. Question 5. A nurse is discussing Alcoholics Anonymous AA with a client. What behavior expected of members of AA should the nurse include in the discussion? A. Speaking aloud at weekly meetings. B. Promising to attend at least 12 meetings yearly. C. Maintaining controlled drinking after 6 months. D. Acknowledging an inability to control the problem. Correct answer. D. Acknowledging an inability to control the problem. Rationale. One of the core beliefs of Alcoholics Anonymous is admitting powerlessness over alcohol. This self-awareness is the first step to recovery. Members are encouraged to accept that they cannot control their drinking and need help. It's a big reason why AA has helped so many. Let's talk about why the other options aren't correct. Option A. Speaking aloud at weekly meetings. Not required. Members are encouraged to share, but it's completely voluntary. No one is forced to speak. Option B. Promising to attend at least 12 meetings yearly. There's no attendance quota. Members are welcome to come as often as they want. More is encouraged, but it's not a rule. Option C. Maintaining controlled drinking after 6 months. A. Promotes total lifelong abstinence. Controlled drinking isn't part of the program at all. Question 6. A nurse discusses the philosophy of Alcoholics Anonymous AA with a client who has a history of alcoholism. What need must self-help groups such as AA meet to be successful? A. Trust. B. Growth. C. Belonging. D. Independence. Correct answer. C. Belonging. Rationale. At its core, AA works because it provides a safe, supportive space where people feel accepted. That sense of belonging, being part of a group that understands without judgment, is a powerful motivator in recovery. It meets a basic human emotional need. Now let's quickly break down the other options. Option A. Trust. While trust may develop over time, it's not the main goal. Belonging is what truly drives connection and success in AA. Option B. Growth. Personal growth might happen during recovery, but again, it's not the main function of a support group like AA. It's more about support, not personal development workshops. Option D. Independence. In fact, AA encourages dependence on the group and a higher power. Especially in the early stages, it's not about standing alone. It's about leaning on others to heal. Question 7. A daughter of a Chinese-speaking client approaches a nurse and asks multiple questions while maintaining direct eye contact. What culturally related concept does the daughter's behavior reflect? A. Prejudice. B. Stereotyping. C. Assimilation. D. Ethnocentrism. Correct answer. C. Assimilation. Rationale. Assimilation means adopting the behaviors of the dominant culture. In this case, maintaining direct eye contact and assertively asking questions reflect Western, specifically American, communication styles, which differ from many traditional Asian norms that may favor indirect communication or downcast eyes as a sign of respect. Let's walk through the other choices. Option A. Prejudice. Prejudice involves negative beliefs or bias against another group. That's not what's happening here. The daughter's behavior is not driven by hate or judgment. Option B. Stereotyping. Stereotyping is when we assume everyone in a group behaves the same way. But in this case, we're observing one person's individual adaptation, not labeling the whole culture. Option D, ethnocentrism. Ethnocentrism is the belief that one's own culture is superior to others. There's no judgment happening here, just cultural adaptation. Question 8. A nurse manager works on a unit where the nursing staff members are uncomfortable taking care of clients from cultures that are different from their own. How should the nurse manager address this situation? A. Assign articles about various cultures so that they can become more knowledgeable. B. Relocate the nurses to units where they will not have to care for clients from a variety of cultures. C. Rotate the nurses' assignments so they have an equal opportunity to care for clients from other cultures. D. Plan a workshop that offers opportunities to learn about the cultures they might encounter while at work. Correct answer, D. Plan a workshop that offers opportunities to learn about the cultures they might encounter while at work. Rationale. A workshop creates a safe space for staff to not only learn facts about other cultures, but also reflect on their own feelings and biases. It opens the floor for honest discussion, questions, and team learning, which is far more effective than just reading about it. Let's check out why the other options aren't the best approach. Option A. Assign articles. It's a good start, but passive reading doesn't address emotions or allow for interaction. There's no opportunity to ask questions or reflect. Option B. Relocate the nurses. Not practical at all. Clients from different cultures are found everywhere. We don't solve discomfort by running from it, we face it and grow. Option C. Rotate assignments. Forcing exposure without preparation may cause more tension or resentment. Education and open conversation should come first. Question 9. A nurse is teaching a parenting class. What should the nurse suggest about managing the behavior of a young school-age child? I. Avoid answering questions. B. Give the child a list of expectations. C. Be consistent about established rules. D. Allow the child to plan the day's activities. Correct answer, C. Be consistent about established rules. Rationale. School-age children are still developing focus and self-control. Because they can be easily distracted and have short attention spans, being consistent with rules helps create a stable environment. It minimizes confusion, avoids power struggles, and helps them understand boundaries. Let's review the other options. Option A. Avoid answering questions. Not ideal. Children at this age are curious. Questions should be answered. Just make sure responses are non-judgmental and age-appropriate. Option B. Give the child a list of expectations. A full list might be too much for a young child to process. Simple, clear rules work better than overwhelming them with too many details. Option D. Allow the child to plan the day's activities. Kids need guidance and structure. Giving them full control over the day may not go well. They often lack the time awareness and planning skills adults have. Question 10. A nurse in the health clinic is counseling a college student who was recently diagnosed with asthma. On what aspect of care should the nurse focus? A. Teaching how to make a room allergy-free. B. Referring to a support group for individuals with asthma. C. Arranging with the college to ensure a speedy return to classes. D. Evaluating whether the necessary lifestyle changes are understood. Correct answer, D. Evaluating whether the necessary lifestyle changes are understood. Rationale. Before you teach or plan anything further, you first need to know what the client already understands. Asthma care requires lifestyle changes, avoiding triggers, using inhalers properly, managing stress, and more. If the student doesn't grasp the basics, any next steps won't be effective. Now let's walk through the other options. Option A. Teaching how to make a room allergy-free. That's helpful later, but not before you know if the client understands why these changes matter. Option B. Referring to a support group. Support groups can be helpful, but this is premature. The client needs basic knowledge and adjustment before jumping into community support. Option C. Arranging with the college for a speedy return. That should be the client's choice, not the nurse's focus. Your role is to ensure they're equipped to manage asthma, whether on campus or not. And that wraps up today's quiz session here on Hawked Up. Whether you got them all right or learned something new, you're making real progress, and that's what matters. Remember, it's not about memorizing, it's about understanding. One concept at a time, one question at a time, we're getting new NCLEX ready. If this video helped you out, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment to let me know what you'd like to review next, and of course, subscribe so you never miss a quick, clear, and helpful review. Stay sharp, stay curious, stay hawked up. I'll see you in the next one.